Okay guys, so something that you will want to do if you have a big square, rectangular dimensional room, when you first start out, is that you're going to need to measure wall to wall for where your rows are going for two reasons. You want to make sure that your room is pretty square so that your walls don't sit across from each other, you know, at an angle that's going to show off some kind of a crazy wider spot on one end, and then it's going to be more narrow on the row on the other end. The other thing that you're going to want to do is just measure and figure out how wide each one of your planks are so that you can kind of get an idea of where you're going to land in relationship to the edges of your planks when you get to the other wall. So we measured this out and we figured out that out of this 7 1/8 inch plank, we were only going to need to cut off about 1 3/8 1.5 in order to be nice and tight against this wall. Now, in this case, we don't have a big, long wall that we've got to be worried about coming up square to, but I just measured off of what we've got so far, and I'm learning that we're actually pretty darn close. So we just went based off of the far wall when we started and made sure that we were nice and even there. But I've got 43 1/8 over here, and the other spot where I've got a straight wall, even though this expansion joint you can see in the concrete does move underneath that. Get my tape to cooperate. I'm at 43 1/2, so about 3/8 a half. I'm only going to have a 1/4 inch difference from here to there. Nobody's going to see a 1/4. Nobody's going to see a half. If you start to get into like 1 1/4 inch, 1.5 inch, you may want to actually rip your starter piece over there so that you take that variance in the walls out on both sides, so it's not as obvious as somebody looks down on your work.